Hello. Once again, back in the Dakota River Bend Red Dead Redemption server, and just Fizzygoo talking about role-playing games, whatever comes to mind, rambling. Yeah. We've got it so we're pretty sure we won't overheat. We might have to do a few, what do you call it? Little air duster, which is noisy and probably very annoying for the listener. So I'm sure that only dedicated listeners will tend to watch this. Also, as you can see, I have to check to see if anything comes up in the chat periodically, because I don't have the ability to use two screens. Hopefully that now remember to unplug the second screen, because that will cause my computer to overheat. You get it all? Get it all? Got the knife? Got the cool. All right. So here we are. Very crappy day. Somebody left a cart out here. I don't see anybody. Do you see anybody? Might as well go check home. Sorry if there's a lot of dead air. I'm still getting used to streaming and recording. And so that means I need to be talking. What the hell is that? Again, I only go for the bulls, the bucks, etc. General wildlife management. So yeah, Pathfinder, 2 new classes. Cool. I don't know, new classes tend not to excite me very much, just because I've had very little, not very little. I just feel like I'm mostly a DM, even though I've been playing in a game as a player. Pretty much, there's what, a year and a half break, but pretty much I've been a player in a campaign in at least one campaign for I don't know how many years. 2002 ish. So not a whole lot of. Yeah, I don't know. It's never enough. It's never enough games. And yeah. So yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna assume that I'll be able to see it come up that the chat to do the alt tab. Gotta go home, get ourselves a meal. But yeah, so that's cool. New classes. But again, I just, yeah, yeah, it just feels like I have an experience. I've never been in a game as a player where we've reached 20th level. I want to say 12 was our highest, but I can't remember offhand. But, so yeah, so I don't know. I'm getting some num-nums. And finish feeding. Do I lock it? Yeah, I lock it. That's weird. Yeah, so Pathfinder 2 new classes announced. I'm looking forward to the new revision of Pathfinder 2. I like the idea of it being compatible with Starfinder. I haven't played Starfinder, but I enjoy that. Gives more options, basically, which is always good. At least for a DM, have all your options. But yeah, I don't know. My last stream, I was talking about how there's a segment of gamers, especially online, that I don't know. Like any way I speak about it, I feel like it's going to sound disparaging, but it feels like they lack the imagination to realize that anything can be reskinned to anything else. You just, it doesn't matter. Coming up into the sun. Almost always miss ram. Like almost every time, like they just duck right when I pull the trigger, or they just step out of my crosshairs. Like they know. So again, here's skinning. In case you're queasy. Look up at the trees. Oh, look, trees. Nobody has to see it. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm interested to see what that is like. The demographic of gamers that if you say, hey, I'm going to use the mechanical statistics for an orc to make a bugbear character or a lizard folk character or, anything else, and then they go, well, it doesn't look like a lizard folk. It's like, well, yeah, but that's what the reskinning is doing. Like, yeah, I don't get it. But I was not put on this earth to get it. That sounds like coyote. Yep. Coyotes tend not to attack me. The wolves, however, they do. There's a bull or a cow elk. Won't disturb her. But yeah, so I don't know what's everybody doing in their campaigns. Leave a bloop bloop comment. What are you doing in your campaigns? Um, I've been trying to consolidate all the subplots that I've been introducing in my 2 campaigns because they both take place in the same world. That smoke out there is a random event. Let's see. That smoke could be a crashed balloon or some bandits with a stolen safe. Well, generally, like if I'm real close, then I'll run over to them. But I don't know how far that one is. But yeah, so consolidating all the subplots and putting it into a timeline, and then so I can see where if I've forgotten to update any of them as the campaigns have progressed. And both campaigns are in the same world at roughly the same time, with one being Dungeons and Dragons and the other one being Pathfinder 2E. Again, like top level reskinning. Like the system doesn't matter. It's it's the game. It's the overall stories being told that are important. So yeah, I'd like to convert my D&D group over to Pathfinder 3E because I think the system, the system is more versatile. There's there's less I'd have to adjudicate. Just kind of like, well, and there's more. Oh yeah, this is the rule for it. But I think out of all my players, only out of all the D&D players, I think there's only one that would really care about having more options, because that's kind of the biggest thing I've seen when people talk about the difference is like on a player's end, every level that you gain in Pathfinder 2E as a player, you're going to make a choice. Where with D&D 5th edition, there's often some levels, and even later on, the only choices are like, oh, what spell am I going to take, and that's it. So, excuse me. Yeah, the late night game, or my evening streams, I guess we'll call them. I don't know. There's the whole naming thing that I got to do, and this is all going to be very haphazard, and it's like, just having fun. But oof, got lost on that. Yeah, don't see the smoke anymore. So I bet somebody got it. Right? You see the smoke? I don't see any smoke. I hear walls. Yeah, there's ambient animal sounds, and then there's actual animal sounds. So wolves, elk, and bear all have ambient sounds where you'll be riding along in a certain location, you'll hear it, and you go, oh, there's one over here, but no, it's up in in high mountains that you can't get to, or just off the map or something. So, but yeah, uh, I don't know whether my players in my, I don't, I don't think my players in the D&D group, every time they level, want to spend a good half an hour going through the 5 to 30 feet that they could choose per level, and I'm making up those numbers, but it's quite a few that they get to choose from. So, you know, every level you're making that choice, and then of course I'd probably do the. Oh, I'm too new to it, so I can't remember what the name is. But it's, you get. It's the equivalent of multi-classing, kind of, for free archetypes. Is it archetypes? Free archetype at second level. And so I think it's every even level you can get another archetype feat that kind of expands and develops your character's character. But yeah, I mean, I don't, it's going to be one of those things where it's like somebody's going to come in and make a comment or something at some point after 10 years of doing this solo, and then and I'm gonna miss it because I'll be talking to myself anyway. It, that's why I'm not pushing my D&D group to change over to Pathfinder. Anyway. And then, having to deal with the sad feelings I'd have if they said, "Oh, I don't like my character now because it's not working the same way it did," and all that kind of thing. That'd be hard. I don't like disappointing my players. I like scaring them. I like making them worry about their characters and whether their characters are going to survive. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. Talking about DM killing characters. So far, the Pathfinder group is about 30 sessions in, and nobody's died. And I just keep throwing stuff at them, like it's. I'm not doing a whole lot of encounter balancing. I'm doing some OSR. I'm actually rolling on some of the old first edition D&D, AD&D tables for random encounters and stuff, and then I've created some other random encounters that have incorporated a lot of the old stuff. And nobody's died. They're all veteran players, though. 2 of them, for well over 20 years, and one of them is the son of one of the other players, and he's been playing. I don't know how long he's been playing, but he knows his poop. And then the D&D group, they're, what do you call it? They used to play. Most of them took breaks. 2 of them were completely new at the start of the campaign, and so it's a good mixture of kind of coming back to the game and completely new to the game. They're just role playing games, and it's a much you know, I don't want to pressure them with my madness, and same with the Pathfinder rules. They're very laissez-faire uh, campaigns where it's, you know, if a player has a detailed backstory, great. If they don't have a detailed backstory, fine. It's a homebrew campaign world, but it's, you know, I'm calling it a Nexus world. So, like, yeah, if you bring in, you can bring in a character from anywhere, from anything. You know, cleric of any god from any game system. Just so long as everybody has fun. See that bear isn't up there. It's really disappointing. Oh, I think I'm gonna get wolves. Right. Before I get wolves, I'm going to do some air duster. So here we go. Loud noise. All right. And I went quiet because I just got lost in thought. Yeah, you know, one of the main reasons to do the streaming and the stuff and talking about the game. Well, the main reason to do the streaming is because just so I don't have to edit. But then the side bonus is I can show my dad what Red Dead Redemption looks like, and yeah, because I think he'd get a kick out of it. Although people often hate Rockstar controls when they first have to deal with it, like controlling the horses is very interesting. But once you get it down, it feels very natural. There's just a lot of, like, if I turn around and look backwards from that, then I've got to use the backwards key. So I got to switch from W to S, and then that way I keep going forward. And so turn, and then back to forward. But yeah, there's just some, like, when you turn a horse a certain way, it behaves like a horse turning that way, so it doesn't keep working like you'd expect from general video game turning. And these are all people's camps that are popping up as they buy their camps and set up their little sections of the world. Now, I don't know where I want to go. I mean, I'm heading towards, I don't know, the Trader. Yeah, Wallace Station. I guess there's just not, I was hoping there'd be a little more hunting, but I just took a way that doesn't have a lot of critters that I tend to hunt. So I think it's going to be light this time. But yeah, so but yeah, I'll be able to show my dad what playing Red Dead Redemption is like. I mean, but yeah, otherwise it's just my relaxing game. I finished putting in another post for building a fence so that the dog can come and go from the backyard to the garage to the house as desired. And yeah, exhausted after digging holes and doing all that. And then I've got one more post to do, and then I can start putting up the fence rails. Exciting stuff, I know. But yeah. That's why the late night or the evening Red Dead stream, I don't have the video on my face because relaxing, and there's some things you're not supposed to show on YouTube, and on my end it's all completely legal, but don't want to encourage the youths of tomorrow to partake in stuff. You know. Anyways, yeah, consolidating the timeline, and it's just, oof. There's all these little things that keep popping up, and I'm like, oh, I need to do this before I do that. Like, it looks like a big jackrabbit. We got the... Alright. Just bunnies. Anyway. Yeah, so I thought, oh... Okay, so I started the campaign, the D&D campaign first between the two, back in 2020, I think. And just to make it easy, just used Gregorian calendar instead of the actual world's calendar, which means that, basically there's about 40 unaccounted days, because the fantasy world calendar is 403 days long, and Gregorian is 365 and a quarter. And so, it just means there's 40 missing days. But anyway, so I'm putting together all the plot lines in one timeline, consolidating it, and from the two different campaigns. And then I realized, oh, it'd be nice to have the moon cycles, because there's 2 moons in this world, and they're pretty regular, but still be nice to have the moon cycles quickly reference, so if it's a full moon or whatnot. Anyway, so that ended up taking so long because I basically crunched the fantasy calendar into Earth calendar. So, so there's missing days and all that kind of thing. But but then, just doing the math, basically creating an Excel table to, what is it? Yeah, 365 equals 403, I think, right? And so the halfway point between that is the halfway point on the other calendar, and you still end up missing. It skips the 40 or so days on the other calendar. I don't feel like I'm explaining that very well, but you know, it's all right. Everybody will live anyway. So then I created a image that's basically just a table that has, you know, what day in the fantasy world's calendar, which is approximately equal to what day of the Gregorian calendar year, and then what the cycle of the moons are on that day, and you know, divided it by um, let's just check up here. Sometimes there's a bear up here, and then divided, or it, that might not be fake. Um, See, he gets all quiet when he thinks there might be a bear. Anyway, uh, creating it, so there's a day entry for when the full is moon. When the moon is full, uh, there's two moons, big one, the little one. Big one goes around every 33 and just over a half days. Oh, is that a bear? No. Is that a bear? No. And the little one goes around in half that time, so like 16 and 16.75, something like that. You know, close to that. And but that ends up equaling the big moon completes a cycle 12 times within the year. Thankfully, either the people of the fantasy world are experiencing the time when the moon became lovely in sync like that, or the gods put it that way. Take your pick. But so, what do you call it? Um, so yeah, so when the big moon is full, new, uh, waning, waxing crescent, waning, waxing gibbous, and waning, waxing quarter. To me, it's half, you know, it's half visible. It's a quarter moon. Um, yeah. So then, you know, created an entry for each one of those, and when it's full, so is when the big moon's full, the little moon is also full. But the little moon goes through its cycle twice within one of the big moon cycles. So just kind of doing that, and then now we're in warmer area. We can take off our camouflage, our home camouflage. So roll it. Um, yeah, that just took a long time. Everything takes a long time. Like I'm working on an adventure to publish on Drive Through RPG and Roll20, and doing the base map. And it's a simple location, but it's not a typical dungeon location. So there's a lot of little things that I had to draw to add in, and it just took me so long. But now that I finished that, now I got to figure out how to uh, what become a part of E. I thought it was R. It used to be R, I think. Anyway, oh shit. Use my language. Try not to use that. Saddlebags. I need that. hide frame. Yeah, and figuring out how to partner with Roll20 and then, create the asset so somebody that buys it will actually be able to, out of the box use it, and it'll have the dynamic lighting, it'll have the monsters, everything will be in there. And I don't know how to do that. So I got to figure out how to do that. And it just, it's overwhelming. But right now we're just relaxing and carrying some hides. See how much we get. Didn't feel like I did enough. And these aren't all from this playthrough or this play. It's not a playthrough. Let's check. Nope. I don't see it, buddy. Yep. Cool. Oh. Yeah. The little red weight with the arrow up means I'm encumbered. I'm carrying too much. I don't think they have the bugs all fixed with that because sometimes it's not there, but then I'll take on an item and it goes up when the whole time I've been encumbered. And a lot of the time I can still run, and you're not supposed to be. The big thing is you're not supposed to be able to run when you're encumbered, and I think your food and health or food and stamina go down faster. Excuse me. But yeah, you know, uh, and none of the other players in the D&D campaign, when I mentioned, when the whole debacle at the start of this year with WotC happened, and it was looking like they were going to try to, no D&D on any virtual tabletop other than their own. Looked like that might happen. Mentioned to the group, hey, maybe we should do this. And none of them seemed real excited, like, oh yes, let's try a new system. And yeah, so I don't want to push it. And now probably better to just wait until after the new book so that they only have to buy uh, that one book if they even need to do that. There's a log that looked like an elk. My head's through the frame. Anyway, yeah, better to, so they only have to buy a player's book and not the core rule book that, has all the extra stuff, I guess. I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do, right? Like, yeah, the big thing is, I don't know. There's no wrong way to play role-playing games like D&D, and why be opinionated about it? So, like, maybe there is a wrong way to play, and that's okay too. But yeah, like reskinning is like that's the that's the secret sauce of the DM is to be able to, players are so used to fighting, whatever goblins, kobolds, and so you reskin the goblin barbarians as you know you use bugbear stats. Cool, it's a surprise and fun, But again, it's assuming you're not trying to, kill your character, kill your player characters. It's like I feel like a lot of the pushback always comes from like this fear of like the DM like cheating or being unfair, and that just goes back to the social skills where mostly I bet that's that's coming from players in their teens because it's the early socialization stage of humanity. And yeah, so it's nice when sorry, I had something in my teeth, which is why it's always nice not to have the camera on in the evening after dinner. Just kind of relaxing. Yeah, I don't know. What do you do to relax? He said to the what do we name it? Dead and Dragons. He's I don't know. I'm terrible at titles. Like I don't. What are you gonna do? Become better? Oh, that. That's that. So yeah. I don't know what time it is. Okay. Because yeah, you want your players to be happy overall, have enjoyment in the game. But one of the ways of doing that is surprise and challenge and threat to life and limb, overcoming adversary, adversaries. There's an O word I thought, not obstacles, but overcoming something. I don't know. So yeah. But yeah, we just go through and cure all our hides. It's very quiet tonight. Usually there's more people. Usually when I do this, I always see one or two people ride by. Oh, don't have any pelts. Time to go. That one we're trying to make sure. Yep. All right, time to go sell the pelts. Now the funny thing is I don't know a way to get rid of the hide frame sitting there. Like, I don't think there's just the option to yeah, just the option to cure hides, not take it away. So I end up leaving that there every time. But I still have it now in my horse's saddlebag, all packed up. I don't know, man. There, there's always some point in video games where reality fails. But boy, I sure love this game for all the points where it doesn't. Anyway, my character's name is Alistair Crab, and I named him after, took Alistair Crowley's first name, but then I used Crab. I can't remember his last name, or his first name. Crab from Little Little Big Man, 1960s movie, Dustin Hoffman. I, I like it. My parents introduced me to it, and it it's basically proto Forrest Gump movie. Like, uh, somebody, you're following somebody, the story of somebody that was involved in a lot of major events, or encountered a lot of major people in uh, what 1870s, 1880s, maybe 1890s American West. And yeah, it's pretty poignant, and I like how it treats Custer pretty good. Uh, Makes him a madman. Um, and I haven't read much up on historical Custer, you know, so I don't know how accurate it actually is to his personality, but what are you gonna do? No bear tooth. Nope. I haven't seen any wolves drop teeth yet, so I don't know if that's something that might come in a while. But I got some horns. No elk. That's an elk. I got any pronghorn? No pronghorn. No moose. That's it. Okay. Anything else? All right. Now to town to put that 600 or so in the bank before I get robbed. Yep. Here comes somebody. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling Clementine. You're lost and gone forever. Oh, my darling Clementine. I like to sing poorly, obviously, uh, as I'm writing if I think somebody's coming, just for the fun of it. I think I should use the restroom real quick. So we will sneak up into the brush here. Ooh, here comes somebody. I hear him. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling Clementine. You're lost and gone forever. Oh, my darling Clementine. Head off a little brush up here. A little out of the way. Here, do this. And we'll go here. We do P. Alright, I'm back. Did anybody show up and yell at me? Nope. Cool. Okay. Back onto the horse. And well, there are people on because we heard two people ride by. But I think they were on the lower road that we're heading over right now. So yeah, not pressuring my players to change systems. Might suggest again once the revised version of Pathfinder 2E comes out. Yeah. I'd love a better character sheet on Roll20. Because that default sheet is just... Well, I don't like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's overall it's very good. You know, but there's just little things that I don't like, and I don't like that there's a lot of, you know, I mean, they say they're working on it, but and we saw in the videos they did some demos of basically, you know, character creator in Roll20, but it just feels so long and after time. But at least they're working on stuff, so that's nice. But yeah, you know, why run everywhere? You're just exhausting your horse. There's no real huge mechanic for that though. I mean, there is if you go full out sprint, your horse will get tired. But you can ride a lot very fast for a very long time. And yeah, it's just too many people bump into other people when that happens. And I've discovered that if I'm just moving this way and somebody runs into me full blast, there's a good chance I stay in the saddle and the other person flies off. But if you're both racing, you might get both of you. I almost never find the big game here. Picked off some rock. You know, it's the little details. That's just cool when you're walking along and you hear the rocks sliding like they do out in the wilderness. Anyway, yeah. Like if you look at my, like I'd love to have this, you know, level of detail of the world for a game. Just even just to show players like, oh, and so you're going through a forest like this, you know, and be able to do it quickly. But like, I've got Paragen, and on one hand I love it, on another hand I hate it. And it just takes so long, and then to render it on, you know, one machine, you know, like a 30-second clip can take 24, 48 hours, and that just means that I'm not using my computer for 24, 48 hours. Oh, that's a buck. That's the first time I've seen. Well, we're headed that way, so maybe we'll get them. I think we got him. Hopefully he doesn't float away. remember if this is the road I go up. No, next one. So yeah, cool. Nice to know that there's some larger game down here. Yeah, so it's probably getting a little late and getting a little less talkative. So might as well check. Nope. Cool. Come back to here and we'll do a little air duster noise. Hopefully I gave you enough time for that. Sorry about this. If you're still with me this far into the evening play session here, yeah, nobody hears me unless I hold down the N button and the little thing comes up green down at the bottom there. I started talking while I had it on. And then that little white 3/4 circle is how loud you are. So if that's the widest possible range, which I think is like 32 yards or meters, and then that's you're muted, and then there you can see they added a little highlighted circle to see how far. So people outside that circle don't hear you. So I tend to keep it right about there, which seems short, but you know, I don't know. Cool, I'm getting hungry. I need food badly. Almost to town. But again, if you move at a fast pace, I would have been to town in a third of the time that it's taken me to get here. Yeah. Just to be safe, drink a little water. Pick up some wild mint. Which is my favorite, because as a kid I remember fishing with my dad on the Platte River and getting worms, and I think it was hard to find worms around where the mint was growing, so we'd always have to move, up or downstream in the mud away from the mint to find the worms. I think that's how that worked. But I love the mint. Pick off a leaf and chew on it while you're sitting there fishing. A lot of noises as we get close to town. Put my rifles away when I come to town. Don't want to get arrested. See, you're not supposed to ride that fast. At least not through town. Maybe they slowed down a bit. But... gotta check to see if they have rifle bullets. Player economy. Somebody's got their hot air balloon. Really gun. Nope. Surgeon. Gun store, that's what we need. No repeaters. Oh, of course it is. Oh no, I need ammunition. Find my rifle. Nobody sells one quantity. It's just a worse. Good price for it, but do I want to buy 5? No. I don't use. Like generally, what I do is I'll use. 5 quantities is $3.25. So 55 price. That's what I pay for it at the general or at the in-town gun store, which is NPC. I'm not willing to buy 5 at a time, which is 500 bullets. I got wet here, didn't I? Well, with the storm, we'll use the air to go again. Just to be safe. One rifle. Oh, nice. I got the repeater in. Yeah, so what I'll do is I usually try to go through 100 of my rifle shots hunting, and then do tanning the hides or curing the hides, and then come back and drop off the money at the bank after I buy a new load of bullets. And then I keep about 4 or 5 on me anyways. So I don't risk being completely out. Yeah, see, Valentine's got pretty... There's a good amount of people here. All milling about. But again, it's like, you know, what am I going to do? You know, most people seem to be doing their own business.
I was broke as fuck when I got in.
Well, howdy, Miss Chivalrous.
Over the bank.
Hey, I recognize that voice.
No,
Hello.
Yeah, that's my cousin Cletus.
I'm Cletus. Cletus
Cletus.
Jespin.
I forget my name. What?
Huh?
I'm rich.
Okay, Annabelle Steele.
How much
Oh.
you give her?
$5.
$5?
No. He gave me more than $5. He gave me more than $5.
Yeah, staying out of people's way. It's like, yeah, you know, sometimes you get a conversation, but not often. Oh, nope, they didn't fix the animation. Arm still goes through your body for a second. Is that all it gave me about that? No, there it goes. Okay. Well, it looks like we're eating 2 stews. Yeah, that's the only thing that's weird is like the economy doesn't feel right, you know? But it's like, you know, what are you gonna do? Complain? Not really.
I'll buy some packs for only like some price food.
Oh dear, before we go. Standing out on the early morning. Watching people ride too fast. So that guy was probably first person view, because you can't walk in first person view. You just look like an idiot.
Probably should wait a little bit. Middle of the night. I doubt we couldn't take them during the daytime. I doubt we could take them at night. So like the sun rises a little bit more.
Sounds like they're getting ready for some type of... fun to just sit. Although I can't see if I'm sitting well. But that's alright.
Excuse me, fellers.
What's his name? Oh, I thought you were asking me a question. My fault.
Yeah, I wonder how that works on YouTube.
Yeah, if we ride at dusk, though, it's almost the time. Until the sun comes out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Be in my head for a moment.
Yeah. It's nice to just sit here and eat.
I'll just stand here and get drunk.
See, he's got a long arm on his back. You're not supposed to have long arms.
Anyway.
He's got long arms. He's got a goddamn sword out. Now, I swear I saw somebody that had, that looked like they were sheriff or marshal. Oh, maybe not. I wanted to make this my horse before I get on it. That looks like a marshal, but I don't think it is. Seems a little lawless tonight. I think most evenings there's no law. Like that guy's a dick for just leaving his horse and carriage in his wagon in the middle of the road. What was that? first we look, because if they're out of berry juice, so I'll get full price if I sell some of my berry juice. Berry juice. Sell. 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 Here we go. Let's just hang out and see what happens. And as it's quiet, checking the text messages. There we go. No, doesn't look like anything's really happening, other than people running around the video. In the server, you can get pets, both dogs, exotics, and what do you call it? Birds. All right, well, seems to have cleared out a bit. Might as well go for. Nice yellow. Green, maybe. I forget to do that. Like it used to be you couldn't. Used to be you could, then you couldn't. Now you can again, where you right click and you'll see their like username for Red M servers, or maybe particularly this server. I forget which it is. They can change it, and so that way, if people look at me, they see Alistair Crab. Yeah. Otherwise, not a lot of, super exciting news coming out right now, role-playing game-wise. I mean, I hear Baldur's Gate 3, everybody's loving it. That's cool. I'm just... I don't know how point and click it is, but you know, the views I've seen of people playing it is, you know, very similar, you know, to the original Baldur's Gate series, several, and yeah, I played that a lot, and just doesn't interest me a whole bunch to play it like that. You know, like maybe someday I'll decide to. Like I bought what is it, Pathfinder Kingmaker, I think it's Kingmaker, and I played that for a little bit, like less than a year ago, I think. And it's just I don't know what it is. Is it too much like? It's too much like playing the game in all the ways that don't excite me. Like interacting with other people makes role-playing games very exciting. Just Karen. Blue Moon. Alright. I guess we'll head out towards the desert again. And we'll do air duster. So air duster incoming if you are watching this at a later date. And here we go. There we go. Let's see, that guy's a stranger. Oh, where? What? Huh. No, that's scary. Holding it points. No, holding it doesn't point. But letting go points. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. It used to never do it before. Jim never orders a second cup of coffee when at home. And that is an old coffee commercial about, I think, soldiers and they order it while on vacation. And then the wife thinks or says, you know, her husband never orders or never has a second cup at home. And then, of course, the movie Airplane parodies it. And probably some other stuff too, because, you know, it was a thing. Back when there were, what, 4 channels? ABC, CBS, NBC. I don't know, before my time. Oops, shit. Howdy. See, now if people are riding that fast, then they're probably a player. If people are moving as slow as I am, they're probably an NPC. So it's kind of fun to just go this slow everywhere, and then people think you're an NPC. And that's kind of how I feel. I feel like I am a DM that's controlling one NPC that people can interact with, but otherwise will leave you alone. See? Weird. There we go. Here comes somebody. slight rambling. I don't, you know. I tend to be a hermit in real life, and so I rarely talk to people except for my partner and people on game nights. So now I'm sleepy, and my partner should be home in 30 minutes-ish. But yeah, I just kind of run out of steam. But one of the things that you do is, most people use, I think most people use Metal, which is the software to record your games. Because if there's any weird shenanigans or if somebody isn't playing by the rules, then you're supposed to report them. Because that's why people come to this server. So there aren't a bunch of people throwing dynamite at you and just randomly shooting you. And they stay in character. Or at least don't act like they're not a part of 1899 Old West. Yeah, if you come through here at the right time, there's usually deer and pronghorn. But if there's a lot of people riding through here, they chase them off and here they go either further up into the hills or off to my right currently. Over there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to get used to asking questions in case any people do show up for the live stream. What's your favorite character that you've ever played? Favorite encounter? Ooh, there's something. I bet there are good courses, though. No, pronghorn. Nope. Missed that. Now when we come around, maybe we'll give them another shot. Yeah, sometimes when you chase them off, then they blip out. Not always. instead of going to the desert. Come up and check your field. Yep, there's black water out there. St. Denis way out there? I don't know. I think that brave white manor, excuse me, beyond that is St. Denis. St. Denis. Those pronghorns are gone. See, in my head, because I'm streaming, there's people yelling at me to go faster. I'm not going to, but there's people like, oh my god, it's so boring just watching clop clop. And I'm like, yeah, but that's part of the fun. Yeah. That's the stats I'm used to. Hey, but we've been on for like 2 hours. That's cool. That's 2 hours of content of me rambling on and not having my computer overheat and die. Always a bonus. And yeah. I figure it's just a pretty game. So even if I'm not talking, it's still lovely to look at. Like, is this person typing? Yep. So many people in a hurry. Although it's raining now, so NPCs tend to move faster when it's raining. There's a donkey. Getting late enough in the game, I should probably get Strawberry, the town of Strawberry for food and wait through evening so I'm not jumped by wolves the entire way out to the desert. Don't forget to pet your horse. Alright, now crime should be lessened. So the reason they do that is so that there's fair chance for law enforcement to give chase and for things to kind of fully play out. Instead of having, criminals time there. Where are you going? I didn't see you. What are you, Joe? Criminals time the bank robbery right before the server restarts, and then just not log back in and take stolen money. Or not log back in when after the server restarts, and then wait an hour or a day or whatever. This is always dangerous right through here because it's like just narrow enough and visibility is just bad enough just through here that a lot of times, people crater into each other, especially if they're on a wagon. Because, again, people just hightail it all over the place. And it, coming at it from, immersion role-playing, I'm like, why are you riding your horses so hard? Especially if they're pulling a wagon like that. Are you being chased? And nobody's chasing them. But I know, habits get hard to break when you've been doing the regular Red Dead Online and people slaughtering you left and right. And we're not that bad, but we're gonna do a little air duster in 3, 2, 1. Howdy. I gotta remember to say fine horse you have there to people, because that's what NPCs a lot of times say to you, especially if you've got, I think, good It's honor. Your honorable character in the regular game. Oh, somebody's sending a bird out nearby. Always weird to see a bird just do that. Yeah, a lot of people seem concerned about player characters being overpowered. And it's like I'm never worried about that. Largely because I did I finish it? I don't even think I finished the whole thing I was talking about earlier about the Pathfinder group. Nobody's died yet after about 30 sessions. Howdy. And the D&D group, only one character has died, and that was like in the second session, I think, or maybe even the first. And at first level, and then it's been 50-some sessions since then, and nobody's died yet. Although I keep waiting. There's been several points, especially in Curse of Strahd, where I'm like, if they do this, they're all gonna die, and then they don't do it, and I'm really surprised because it's something I thought they would definitely do. Which I'm not gonna relate because who knows if they'll do it. But yeah, so that's one reason why I'm not worried about the players being overpowered, because already they've dealt with pretty much everything I've thrown at them. And even on things I think, okay, I'm going to really clobber them, there's times that I don't. And Pathfinder, I'm really still getting used to, because there's one player fighter build, I believe. I think he was a fighter, and now he's taking some archetype in barbarian. I think that's how that works, or maybe it's flipped and he's been a barbarian. Boy, yeah, well, I really know my players and their characters. Anyway, but yeah, he just crushes things. Like he crits so often on monsters, and things that are a level or two higher than him, he's taking out in a hit or two. And so it's just kind of like, well, okay then. And so I, like, now and again I'll throw, usually it's through random encounters, oh, well, this might really crush him. But it doesn't. They all survive. So, I just keep waiting. Like, in a campaign that I ran for several years with the people that are playing Pathfinder 2E now, or at least 2/3 of them, and some other players, players and friends, player friends. Yeah, there were 4 player friends in that over the years, and played it until they hit, I think, level 14 or 15. And, nobody died. And, I would throw all this kind of stuff at them, and they're all pretty smart. So, rarely... There we are. And yeah, and, so this is, what, a 8-year campaign? And they are just taking everything and throwing at them. And, yeah, it was nuts. And then, near the end of at the end, I think one of the last encounters was in the abyss with the Marilith, and it just nearly killed the fighter. like on the first round, and then they were all really scared in that one encounter. And so they like to say that it was me lulling them all into a false sense of security over the years, and then hammering them. And me, it's like, no, I just finally figured out the level above that is enough to really deal some damage and make them think that they might die. So, yeah, that's just a cute story. Because usually it would be like the fighter would just start crushing things, and then all the things would get worried about the fighter, while the wizard is just kind of in the back doing his thing. You know, deciding whether spells need to be cast. And again, this is, 3.5, so no fantastic cantrips that just do over and over and over again for, damage dealing. And yeah, the wizard would stay back, wait for the right moment, and then come in with the kill, usually taking it from the fighter and the rogue. Rogues. I think I had 2 rogues in that campaign. I think at the most there was 5 players at one time, I think. Hard to remember. Years ago. Well, ugh.
Howdy. He was a farmer and he wanted to know if we needed anything.
Jesus.
Howdy, sir.
Howdy.
Looking to spank some muffin.
Well, all right then. Everybody's always coming in hard. And then it's always wise to ride with your gun out because, bandits. There's a question. What's a fantasy, quest or adventure that you've always wanted to have your characters go on or slay? I've always wanted to do some type of pirate, go out and raid some shipping lanes, run some krakens, etc., etc., and then I don't know, do some battle tactics, armies, raise an army and all that. Really really not wise of me going out this late, this way. There's usually wolves down in this valley. Another reason to take it slow, because if you're going slow, you might see them before they see you. I'm not hearing any wolves though. That's a good sign so far. Like we might get a storm. Forget what that is. It's like a crow or no, I think it's a crow. I think it's a small mammal. Somebody's fork. Went off the road. That's what I get for checking tests. Front of a rock. Oof. Yeah, so alright, pretty successful. Almost 2-hour stream, 2-hour stream. And of course, if people start chatting, then that's gonna cause it. That's gonna be ooh. Lift your head, sir. Oof. There we go. No, it's a pronghorn buck. Pronghorn bucks usually travel in 2 or 3. So, okay, now we wait here for a second. trying to look around. Good. Close the bar. I'm not hearing any big cats. I don't know. I see a lot of people just running through hunting like crazy, like everything. They just bam, 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 bam. And I prefer to act like I'm, not trying to deplete the entire world's resources. Horses. I mean, I say that, but when I see 2 elk, I usually try to get both of them, so. Maybe I got him. I got him. Oh, nice. I thought he put his head down right at the moment when I fired. Yeah, like if that doe was actually a buck, then I probably would have shot it, skinned this one, and rode over and got it. But I mean, if you want to go real slow, nope, that didn't work. I thought that would work. This is how you go real slow. Really, just taking up time for my hands to recuperate from all that's that day. That's white smoke from that racetrack building. It always makes me think, oh, there's an event or something, but nope. Always fun to open her up. I think those distant hills are the hills of Mexico. Which, in the server, you can actually go to. But last I checked, you don't get your horse over there, so it's a lot of walking. And I don't think there's any animals, so there's no hunting. And I'm not sure if there's any mining locations, so there's nothing really to mine for miners, which my character currently is. I've been a horse trainer, a miner, what was the other one? Like a metalsmith or some type of like parts creator, parts maker. And I really didn't figure that out. And I lost a crap ton of inventory when they did a switch because something was weird with the way my house was laid out. It's a very cramped little cabin. And I think there was just miscommunication. And I didn't realize, I guess, that like at the wardrobe you can access your house's inventory. All right, but in talking to the person, the server moderator, or I don't know who it was, but in talking to them, I was like, oh, and I don't have a chest because I thought it would be like one of the kind of wilderness chests that you put down at a camp that you can keep inventory in. And so then they placed a chest for me. And then months, half a year later, they did a wipe of the system, and they gave a lot of warning, that your wilderness chests will be cleared. So make sure you get everything out of there and either put it in the bank inventory or your house inventory. And I'm like, oh well, I got it in my house, so we're good. And then I come back and it's empty, and I'm like, oh no. And so I had done a bunch of mining that was before they introduced the other roles. And so at the very beginning, you could craft your own bullets. You could do mining on your own. And then with the ore, you could craft your own bullets or make parts and make your own guns, but then what they did is they split that up so that you can either be a gunsmith or a partsmith. And the partsmith, they can make, I think they can make the hot air balloons if they get all the parts. And one part is like really hard to come by. I think you can get it from one of the events that smokes in the distance. And I think you can make Tesla-like radio-controlled boats or something. And so, just kind of lost my thoughts on all of that and rambled enough. I feel like my voice is going because I've been sitting here talking out loud for who knows how long. At least the server's going to close down, and I got to go in about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to see how far I get in the next 5 minutes. I don't think I can get there. Yeah, I'll keep going this way. Yeah. And the puppy's starting to wake up for his evening play. And he was like, hey, what's going on? Why are you talking to yourself? That's really weird. Usually you just talk to me. Shouldn't you be talking to me? Yeah, the thing I gotta figure out now is how to do this on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and I don't know if that's even possible. And, I don't know which is better. Like, maybe more people will find this if I do it on Twitch, but then it's like, then do I gotta upload it separately to YouTube as a live play? But, put it in a playlist of live play recordings. This is weird. I don't remember this. I'm actually going to look at the map. I remember this loop. Yeah, that's weird. It went around like that. So now I want to go this way. We'll probably just get to McFarland Ranch, and that's where I'll have to go. Might even be just before that. McFarland Ranch is on the other side of that hill, in the distance there. I think there's somebody coming, maybe. Might have just been me. Just a leaf or a bug. Or maybe part of the thing loading. And maybe I'll call it quits just on the other side of Montana here. So if you don't flee your horse when you log out, then your horse sticks around until the server resets, which can be kind of annoying for people, especially if you leave your horse in the middle of the road, or if, like me, you overheat and then you crash, then your horse is still there. And if you log back in and your horse is there, it's not your horse anymore. So there's a look up to Montana, look down to Montana, look up to Montana. All right. Well, thank you all for. This is what I'd say. Thank you all for having fun with me for 2 hours and 15 minutes plus. And good gaming there, everybody. Thank you. Like and subscribe if you'd like. And see you next time. Okay, and